Oh, is that a Norwegian?
This is Norway. And this is a Norwegian. Wait, let me try again. This is a Norwegian. Sorry, that's a Norwegian's forehead. I swear I'll get it right this time. This is a Norwegian, proud in his bunad. This is their capital, Oslo, but it probably should be Stavanger. Stavanger is where the oil comes from. And there are some other important Norwegian international cities like Bergen, Tromsø, Trondheim and Drammen. Apparently Drammen is a bit of a Javla Dritsek, or maybe a Drittunga might be a better word. The population is 5.5 million people, with most being Norwegian. The next biggest nationality might be Polish, but it could be Swedish. History-wise, it goes Vikings, Christianity, Danish, something called the Kalmar Union, then the Kalmar Union 2.0, or perhaps people were lying to me about that one. Then I think somewhere in there Sweden occupied them, the king in World War II fled to Sweden, and then Norway found oil and became filthy rich. The biggest exports are oil, gas, socialism vibes, and Europop music about fox linguistics and wolf bananas. The currency is the krona, and they have 2 written languages with about 50 dialects. My favourite is the Gudbrandsdalen dialect. Many Norwegians can speak English, some even better than Americans, and my favourite word in Norsk is mobba, which means to bully. In the capital, the rich live near the naked statue park in the west, and the poor live in the east, so they are closer to Russia. The Norwegian youth culture likes to stay keeg, but most Norwegians like a mixture of anti-social kus, which I thought was a type of lettuce at first. It's often said that Norwegians can be hostile at first when you meet them, but then friendlier when you get to know them. They have a great work-life skiing balance, with a law that allows you to walk anywhere, probably not through someone's bathroom though. They also have laws where cops keep guns locked in their patrol cars rather than carry them around, and most Norwegians secretly believe in trolls. The most popular sports are skiing, football, where my favourite team is Brann, and there's also handball, but not the schoolyard version. Norway can be broken up into the sunny south, the snobby capital, the boring interior, the wet coast, and the uncouth north, and the separatists, or the Russians. And Norway has a few overseas territories too, like Svalbard, which is a visa-free zone, Jan Mayen for volcanologists, Bouvet Island for penguins, and some part of Antarctica for future oil drilling prospects. 95% of new cars sold are EVs, and Norway's road system is more tunnels and bridges than it is surface roads and interchanges. The speed limits are incredibly slow by European standards, and driving along the major E16 is like driving on a minefield of potholes and landslides. The capital, Oslo's got a lot of hate for being out of touch with the rest of the country, but within the capital you can find some landmarks such as the Kjelsås Science Museum. I have been there many times as a spedbarn, and the National Theatre metro station, which looks kind of like a North Korean metro station. Oslo has a T-Bahn metro service and a tram service, and the airport is closer to Sweden than it is closer to Drammen. Some Norwegian phrases to help you get by are unnskyld, men hvor kan jeg få en tampong, and hjelp, jeg er full. And when you meet a Norwegian for the first time, don't forget to say hi, du er bedre enn Sverige, kan vi bli venn? Or something like that. Norway's neighbours are Sweden, Russia, Finland, UK and Australia by land borders, and Denmark by large river crossing. Norway by some measure has the second longest coastline in the world due to its many long and deep fjords, and Norway has more money in the bank than the whole economy of the Balkans and the Baltics combined. Norway's flag is this thing, and Norway's worst area to live is this place. If you want to go shopping, I recommend Rima, and if you want upmarket groceries, I recommend trying Kiwi. If you want to dine out, steak can cost $700 USD, and if you like alcohol like the hard stuff, you gotta go to Sweden's Systembolaget. Some of the interesting things about Norway is that you can search up the income, wealth and taxes of any individual. Norwegians have a town called Ryuka, which sounds more like a Mortal Kombat fatality kill, where mirrors are used to blast the sun onto Norwegian foreheads, and there is also a place called Bordeaux, where there's a Saltstraumen, which is where 2 tides clash. The wildlife in Norway includes snails, dogs, cats and wolverines, but I have heard they have have a puffin problem, and you can find some bears lurking around Lilyhammer. Speaking of Lilyhammer, a great TV show was once there, and also they held the Winter Olympics. I think Oslo did too at some point. Norway's Winter Olympic medal tally stands at fuckloads with over 1,000 medals. Norwegians love the outdoors, and kids are often forced outside into rain and snow to play. For work, Norwegians love finishing at 4 PM to pick up their little rich brats from the barnehage before making lutefisk for dinner or tacos. And if you ever get sick of your barn, just report them and surrender them to the Barnevarna. Their rapid response team will gladly take them away before you even know it. The TV channels are NRK, or as the Norwegians like to say, NRK. And the Norwegians love making World War II movies about hard water and some boat that sunk in the Oslo Fjord. And it's great to see that Norway held out from German occupation way more longer than the Danish did. Norway has a canal system in the Telemark that is much loved in the summer, and the coldest place in Norway is Røros, where temperatures can drop to jævla cold. Some famous Norwegians include Aha, this guy from the IT crowd, and this guy that is basically in every Norwegian movie ever made. Norwegians love exporting Nordic noir to the world, and Norwegians love boasting about their comfy prison system. Sadly, Norway has some bad events too, like the attack on Utøya and the Parliament area. That was a very, very, very sad day. But Norway has stood strong and not had any since. Norwegians love to breathe in when saying ja.
Ja.
And many Norwegians have entered into biracial relationships to make a very harmonious country. Norway's big day is Grunnlovsdag or 17. Mai, or
Og det er godt for 17. mai!
Constitution Day, basically a Norway day. It has too many names to remember. Kids all hold a rope and march down the street with flags. Adults have a drunken breakfast, then watch a Bua Corps marching band and try to get into the local newspaper, like my little sister here. I won't say which one she is. Norwegians are not too good at mathematics like the Chinese are, but they do alright, just saying. And if you ever find yourself in trouble from some Albanian trying to scam you at Oslo West train station, just shout this.
Ost! Jeg er lidt brun!